Welcome to Xbox Corner, my name is Alex. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Chant on the Series X and S systems. This one today, it is a graphical comparison, and this game it is Series exclusive right now in its current build. So hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, Game Pass breakdowns and graphical comparisons weekly, and let's get started. If you are interested then in hearing our thoughts on this game, Luke did indeed drop a full review here on the channel, find that in the pinned comment below. While we do normally leave these graphical comparisons to footage and music as well, and we'll still be doing that later in the video, do not get me wrong, but I've definitely got a little more than usual to say about this particular release. Also then expect everything here from side-by-side gameplay to full screen visuals to specific stills to at the end of this video a frame rate analysis. First off, honestly, I was surprised to hear this was Series X and S exclusive rather than dropping on the One as well. It's not a game that immediately wows you, and we were chatting amongst myself and Luke, and at points it even feels a little last gen. I think the reason for that is actually the character models. They're relatively simplistic when you compare them to something like, let's say, the recent release The Quarry, which goes for a similar level of realism. And yeah, even the animations packed in here, I'd call them relatively basic. With that said though, dig into the experience, get past the cutscenes, and you do quickly start to recognise that the characters might not be all that incredible, but the environments, they often pack this huge level of detail. Straight away as well, for me, the resolution difference, of course, that is here between the Series X and S as always, but I also noticed they had to actually strip back quite a bit here for the Series S build. Think here from locations packing more detail to a clear ability for the X to provide the occasional bit of pop-in. Playing the consoles side by side, I noticed these things immediately. That said though, in motion, would I notice if I only played on the Series S? It's rare someone owns both consoles, and I'd say no, you may though be a little unimpressed with the soft image on offer. Alongside this then, on the Series S, you're going to notice the lighting's been downgraded in the video today, while still, do not get me wrong, doing a good job, and plenty of the visual effects, they have been dialed back. You'll see that also throughout this video, whether that's going to be clouds in the sky removed, a thing many of us probably would never notice, or the fact some of the vegetation, it's been reduced to clearly help power this game through. As you go through the video as well, depth of field has been impacted on the S. On the X it looks fantastic at times, particularly in cutscenes which are rendered using the in-game engine. On the S, however, you'll see like all of the tweaks of bokeh, blur-like effect, it's not as apparent, which I do feel impacts the atmosphere. Texture detail has also been lowered, and also look for things like northern lights-like effects in the sky, they've been completely stripped away. Finally, and perhaps the biggest issue then for many, frame rate on the S takes a hit. The X held steady throughout with a solid 60 frames per second, but on the S I've included footage actually to close out the video that is Series S frame rate, and yeah, I was seeing drops down to right around 45 at the lowest. I'd say the average was somewhere sitting around 50. It is though, however, constantly fluctuating throughout the gameplay. I'd call it typically minor. These bigger issues, they happen sporadically and actually kind of unexpected here, but mostly in more claustrophobic locations rather than the wide open spaces. I presume that's something to do with all of the texture work being so in your face. Look, I wouldn't say that frame rate either, it's a huge impact on the game, but it seems the optimization on this one, I can see why now they've went Series X and S only, because I presume from what they've achieved here, it's going to need some major work to get onto the one-liner systems. That said though, overall on either system, I've been enjoying it. It's a fun ride of a retreat gone wrong, but again, head over to our review once you're done here to get a more complete opinion. With that then, I'll leave you today with the rest of the video, but hit subscribe, the support helps a huge amount, and in return expect reviews, deals, Game Pass breakdowns, and graphical comparisons around all things Xbox weekly, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.